Time to make the chicken. Now, clearly we need to take some of the chicken pieces apart. Again, if you're using scissors, just make sure to be careful. If you are using a boning knife, what I recommend is to try to come into the neck area here first, get that a little bit separated, and then as you get to the bone, you can either try to break it a little bit or you can cut it off pretty straight. Once you get a little bit of a pop, you can go ahead and pull it off. For the legs, you can pull it out, but you want to find the knee and then cut through in the knee, and then you'll be able to separate it right through there and then pull the leg foot part right off. Again, find the knee area, cut in, and then again it just sort of pops right out. Now those are the two biggest parts that you need to do to prepare the chicken. You also want to pull out some of this fat here. It doesn't particularly cook well in the smoker, and it just makes a bit of a mess. So pull out this and be careful not to cut yourself. And when you turn it over here, you'll see this little knob. You'll want to just go ahead and cut that off as well. This is a gland on the chicken that doesn't do you any favors when you're cooking it. So there's your chicken, all nice and pretty. The wings are folded behind it, and the body is nice and open. Now, for seasoning, I generally just use salt. So I have a big salt shaker here, and then I just cover the outside with a nice amount of salt. The salt that I use is actually fairly large. It's called kosher salt. This particular one is a pink salt from the Himalayas somewhere. But the larger pieces of salt look like a lot, but aren't really a lot. So you want to cover as much of the chicken as you can. And the salt will help to take a lot of the moisture, the water, out of the skin so that it becomes more crunchy and crispy. I also like to add pepper. So I generally use pepper in a mortar and pestle. So I put some pepper grounds in there and then I just smash them. We're putting it on the outside on the skin. Rub it on a little bit, and then we can put it onto our nice stand and let it dry out the skin for a little while. The back doesn't really have too much meat for you to eat, so really the important part is to get the ground pepper on the front. And that is how I prepare a chicken. Okay. I wanted to make a quick barbecue sauce to put on the ribs and the chicken. The base for a lot of barbecue sauces is some kind of a tomato. You can use a Korean, like a spicy chili paste. Today I'm just going to use a tomato paste. You don't want to use too much, depends on how much you're actually trying to make. I'm just going to start off with a little bit. I can always add more later. To the barbecue sauce, we're going to want to add Worcestershire sauce and vinegar. I'm using apple cider vinegar, so it seems like a lot of sour kind of things. To help balance out that sour feeling, we're going to go ahead and add some brown sugar. This is about a spoonful. You can adjust it to however much you like. Also, this is again a Korean chili powdery stuff. I like the way it tastes. You can use whatever spice there that you like. We'll go ahead and start mixing this up. Now there's one more ingredient that I'm going to add today, but it is completely optional. It does give a nice taste to the barbecue sauce, and it doesn't actually add any alcohol, and that is whiskey. An important thing to remember about any kind of alcohol when you're cooking is to make sure that the alcohol you're using is actually something that you would drink. If it's not something you would drink, then you probably should not be cooking with it the alcohol kind of evaporates, burns away, so it doesn't add alcohol to the food, but it does add a nice kind of more smoky flavor, and the sugar in the alcohol does help it to form a glaze. And then just add some salt. Make sure, you probably shouldn't add that much at once, but it'll be okay. And like I said, we turn this all the way up to high. Right now it's climbing up, so in a few minutes when it gets up to like around 200 or so, we can go ahead and put those in. So a couple minutes, we'll put them back in. Alright, so it's been about 8.5 minutes at high temperature. So we're going to go ahead and turn this off and pull them out. And the chicken is similarly done. You see it's got a lot of juice inside, very juicy, and see that it's done all the way through. You can take it apart on a cutting board, or you can just use knives or pull it apart with your fingers. Anyway, so that's the chicken. Thanks for watching. Bye.